It's time for the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast. We are brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy site for player props. It's just like normal fantasy sports. You pick your lineups, you pick them based off player props, overs, unders, all that good stuff. And basically, the more risky a selection, the more points it's worth, and the more points you have, the more likely you win a piece of the prize pool. It's awesome. And to play, all you have to do is to download the Thrive Fantasy app. It's available on the iOS App Store, Google Play Store, or through their website, www.thrivefantasy.com. When you enter our promo code FNFantasy at signup, you can get matched anywhere from 20 to 50 after your first deposit minimum of $20. So go sign up and prop up right now. And stay tuned later for our NFL prop picks, Thrive Fantasy prop picks of the week.
All right. So before we go over,
go ahead.
Talk last week. How the games went, what you guys thought of the games and the spreads and everything. Any initial thoughts? Bad breaks, good breaks?
Well, first of all, our records going into last week were already not pretty. Richie was leading the pack at 6-7. I was 5-8, and you were 4-9. So there's one game separating each one of us. So there was that going into the week. I don't know, Richie. Did you think were there any games that you felt were a bad beat overall? I have my pick.
Honestly, bad beat. You can go ahead first because there's a lot going on that week, and I'm like, oh my god, like, you gotta be kidding me. But yeah,
for me,
that's a double check.
For me, it was majorly Joe Burrow getting injured, knocked out of the game, because I really think, obviously the injury was devastating in and of itself, but I really think Washington was favored by 1.5. And I really think Burrow makes the difference in that game for the Bengals. And all three of us picked the Bengals in that game. I
just feel like we should talk. I know our main thing for the show is talking point spreads and the betting lines and gambling perspective. But just as far as a fan of football, the Bengals are didn't everybody see this coming? It feels like when you see him get drafted by the Bengals. It sucks to say, but they have a terrible offensive line, and the way they manage the game, it's at a certain point, shouldn't an adult in the room stand up and be like, we're going to get this guy killed? He had just been hammered by Chase Young going into the red zone, a drive or two before that. For somebody who has that bad of an offensive line, he has more dropbacks than any quarterback in the league. He's hit more than any quarterback in the league, and he's sacked the third most in the league. At some point, should somebody stand up and be like, hey, maybe we should try to run the ball or do something to not get our number one overall pick killed on the field.
Yeah.
If somebody adopts a dog and abuses it, at some point somebody goes in and replaces the dog. You take it back, you move it to a responsible, loving home. And it's not a perfect metaphor, but it's shouldn't you be able to relocate quarterbacks who are just being put out there to die? Doesn't this feel like it's Andrew Luck all over again? Somebody who you love their toughness, you love how seriously they take the game, but they have a terrible offensive line. They don't like to slide, and his career is going to be ruined if the trajectory continues. So.
Well, in some ways, a little bit of Carson Wentz too, because Carson Wentz. I know there's a lot of jokes about how awful he is this year. Right. Yeah, but Carson Wentz has faced a lot of injuries this year, just because the guy doesn't go down easy, and so. Yeah. And he's always diving for the extra yard, which again, you like that, but it is definitely dangerous. So that one was definitely a bad beat in many ways. But in terms of our picks, I think losing Burrow really tanked the opportunity for the Bengals to cover. The
Miami was a big hit.
Yeah, Miami was huge because Richie, you and Michigan had each locked the Dolphins. I picked the Dolphins also. You guys locked them, and
I was so confident in that number.
Yeah, me too. 3. And Tua got taken out in the fourth quarter. So
do you guys remember what I told you last week? Why I didn't lock the Dolphins? I told you guys. I said there's a history of teams going in to Mile High Stadium and struggling because it's mile high.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt confident the Dolphins would win, but I did not want to lock it because I was concerned for that reason. So, but here's what it comes. I was going to mention the Lions. The Lions were disappointing just because they didn't score at all. Like they didn't even look competitive really against the Panthers.
And that game could have been a lot worse. We'll talk about it more on Frustration Nation, but the Panthers threw 2 interceptions into the end zone. The Lions intercepted both for touchbacks, so that could have easily been like a 30-something point win. But just brutal. Yeah,
I think so Man of Michigan Hat came out of this week. Now he's leading our NFL scoreboard by 1 game, and Richie and I are both tied. And I think where he succeeded this week, none of us hit our locks. I had locked the Vikings to beat the Cowboys, which, by the way, that game shows you how bad the Bears are, because the Cowboys aren't good, and they shredded the Vikings with Andy Dalton at quarterback. But I think where Man Michigan Hat kind of took the step ahead of us, even though he didn't get his lock right, is Richie and I both skipped Titans at Ravens, picked Titans, and Richie and I both picked Chiefs over Raiders, and you skipped that game. So your skips and picks, those were perfect in opposition with where we skipped and picked.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, why you got the edge of this week.
Especially on a week when we all miss our locks. Yeah, that's a difference maker, because the skips aren't as impactful as the locks, but it can help you a lot. That's one where I almost wish I would have taken the Raiders, because I had that. I was leaning that way if I had to play it. It's just so hard to bet against the Chiefs. But as the game was unfolding, I just was thinking like, man, I knew I should have bet the Raiders. But I probably just would have ended up skipping a game that I got right. So it is what it is.
Sorry, Master Lock. We couldn't lock it up for you guys.
Yeah, our sponsorship is definitely not going to happen.
We just lost them. Yeah. We're actually, because it's Thanksgiving's this week, we're actually recording this one early on Monday, and the Rams Buccaneers game is still going on. What's the latest update on that game?
Rams are up 24-17. Fourth quarter just started. Really good game. Both teams look like legit playoff teams, honestly. So yeah,
and all three of them picked the Buccaneers.
Yeah. I mean, it's still possible, but not looking great. Yeah.
Awesome. Just what I need.
Jared Goff is 35 for 42 with 3 touchdowns. Like he's just so inconsistent. You really don't know what Jared Goff you're going to get.
Yes.
And apparently it was the good one tonight. So great.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into our rules so we can get into our picks.
All right. So our rules, as we get into this, every episode we make our picks for every NFL game for the upcoming week. We each have to use a skip, which we referenced earlier. A skip is worth 0 points for a win or a loss. It's just a game you want to pass. And you also have to use a lock, which is worth either 2 wins or 2 losses. Every other pick is worth 1 win or loss. We're going to keep track of our records, and by the end of the season, there's going to be some sort of reward for the winner to be determined. So, and then also we do have our prop picks at the end, where we each
maybe we'll get a prop. Maybe we'll get a trophy made out of Joe Burrow's knee.
Are we doing 2 separate things, one for this show and one for the college show, or are we combining it all?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
2 separate ones, I would say, probably.
Yeah,
good idea.
2 different skill sets, 2 different, topics for prizes. I don't know. We'll think about it. Maybe one is a reward and one's a punishment. I don't know.
This is along the Joe Burrow line, but it'd be kind of cool for the college one. I don't know if he has a cameo and how much it'd be, but it'd be really cool for the winner to get a personalized Coach Orgeron congratulatory video.
Oh, that'd be great. Coach O.
Congratulations. Go Tigers.
That's all I wanted to say. Like, give me like 1 second. Like, it's all you need.
Yeah. Go Tigers.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Well, he'll have lots more time on his hands at the end of the year because he will not be in the playoffs this season. So.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, as we get into the picks, get ready for the best pick'em show out there, because unlike all the other shows you see or listen to on the Scorecast, we will not be wrong.
That's right. So let's get right into it. This week we have, I guess you could call it a treat. We have 3 Thursday games because of Thanksgiving. If you go back and read your history books, everyone knows that after the Pilgrims came over in the Mayflower, they traveled to Detroit and to Dallas and started playing football. So we honor that in our tradition still to this day. And to start off our slate with the early game, we have the Houston Texans visiting Ford Field as road favorites, 2.5 points. So I'm going to throw it over to our resident Lions fan, man in the Michigan hat, to hear your thoughts and prediction.
Oh, man. So I've been burned betting on the Lions 3 weeks in a row. And at a certain point, you have to just ask yourself, how much longer can I keep doing this? And the answer is at least one more week. The Texans are trash, and they're being overrated after the Patriots win. I think the Lions get a little bit healthier, which there's no excuse for getting shut out. But when you're missing your best running back, your two best receivers, like if you get a little healthier, that can make a big difference. And I think on this short week, they win the game. I'm at the point, honestly, where I should be rooting for Lions losses. But the 2 exceptions I'll make are for rivalry games and for Thanksgiving Day. So listeners, I will admit this is a homer pick. You should absolutely bet on the Texans. The Lions were just shut out for the first time in 11 years by a pretty bad Panthers defense. So there's no logical reason to take the Lions here, but it's Thanksgiving, and in honor of the Pilgrims and how good of friends they were to the Native Americans.
And the Fords.
Yeah, the Ford family who came over on the Mayflower. I will bet on the Lions to win and cover.
Very good. Nice. Richie, what are you thinking on this game?
So I've got a stat for you. The Lions have covered the spread just 6 times in their last 20 games.
Yes.
Oof. Unfortunately, I'm going to take the Texans by minus 2.5. So this could be my downfall. So I'm scared. Yeah. It could be about that game, honestly. So I don't know.
So I have a stat for you. The Lions have only won 1 game at home this year.
Yes.
And going back to last year, they hadn't won a game at home since like Matt Stafford's first game last year.
Boom.
So they have almost 2 seasons worth of football with 2 wins at home. Basically.
Oh yeah. So betting the Lions, got it down.
So I am going to go with the Texans in this one as well, to win by at least a field goal.
Where's your holiday spirit?
I'll go ahead and tell you my holiday spirit's not in the next game either, because football team at Cowboys by 3. I'm taking Alex Smith and the Washington football team.
Yes.
So I want to send them boys crying to the dinner table.
Cowboys versus former Indians. It's the true story of Thanksgiving.
That's right. It doesn't get realer than this, folks.
Do you guys know if the Red Rifle is going to be in attendance, or is it going to
be starting? I think. Yep.
Is he? Okay. So that changes my pick.
But last I heard, he was planning to. Yeah.
All right. Well, as of today, I'm taping at Monday. This could change, but whatever. But I'm going Dallas minus 3. Red Rifle time, baby.
Your words are going to make Skip Bayless dance.
That was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
I know, that was pretty bad.
It was awesome. Skip Bayless, come on our show.
Move. Yeah. The only thing was missing is as he started the phone, looking down on it, like the classic boomer live video pose.
Is this how you do the TikTok?
Where's the Facebook? Washington.
Tony La Russa is my favorite manager.
Yeah, for more on him, I think I mentioned him in our next Frustration Nation episode. So, or I guess it would be the last one by the time you listen to this. So,
yeah.
The football team has a really good pass rush and pass defense. They just murdered Joe Burrow in cold blood, and I think there's a good chance Andy Dalton might be right behind him.
Oof.
I loved my Cowboys pick last week, but that was really just more about not trusting the Vikings. The Cowboys are not a good team. And I think Washington probably wins this game outright. Would they be in command of the NFC East at that point? I mean, the Eagles would still be, I think, but
not after the Eagles matchup this week. Just a preview.
Yeah, right.
But
I think that after this game, the NFC East very much will continue to be up in the air. Cowboys are a team,
whole year.
Right. As the Cowboys look ahead to their upcoming games and their schedules, it looks like Dallas has the easiest path to the playoffs, honestly. But a big loss here to Washington will derail their plans.
That's right. All right. Thursday night football. Your third game on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Love it.
The sliding Baltimore Ravens, the struggling Baltimore Ravens, visiting Heinz Field, official sponsor of the Man in Michigan Hats Relish Shots. Take one for the Heinz Field crowd.
I'm actually really getting close.
Towel.
Look at that.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Whoa.
Because I didn't using it on your spare time?
No, it's all been on there. But
how much did you dump actually?
Nah, I did not. I thought it was more than this though, but I think it was coated up on the sides. So yeah, I'm probably got 2 more episodes worth of relish. So
oh man,
you guys go ahead and spilled it.
Oh, you gotta lick it off the table.
You guys go ahead and get into your picks and all.
All right,
my relish.
So Ravens at Steelers. Steelers by 4.5. Richie, I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
This is can the Steelers go undefeated game? Honestly, this might be a hard game for them. So, man, this is a toss-up. I'm picking the Steelers. I think they can go all the way until maybe the last couple of games, but they win this game.
Yep. So the Steelers beat the Ravens by 3 earlier this season. I don't know how much confidence I have. My confidence in the Ravens has plummeted this year. Here he goes. So being that
I will say a lot like Lions games, it gets easier to tolerate the longer you deal with it.
Good analysis. But so the Ravens have just been disappointing for me, and anytime I've picked them, and even me skipping the Titans Ravens game last week was in a way me saying I don't have enough. I feel like there's enough confidence in the Ravens that they could cover, but I'm not entirely sure. This week I'm totally out on the Ravens, and I'm going the Steelers to win and cover.
Richie, you'd have the Steelers too, right?
Yep.
Well, let's make it 3-4-3 because that always works.
That means fade us and pick the Ravens. I'm kidding.
It'd be interesting to look back. We had a couple this past week where we all picked the same. I know Browns we were good on.
Bengals.
Oh, we lost that one though. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what our record
Lions.
is. Yeah.
Cardinals.
That was all last week.
Buccaneers tonight.
Oh man, well that's 1-4, and that was what I thought was our best week doing that. Yeah, we'll have to go back and check our records, but probably a good idea. So I'm taking the Steelers too. The Ravens just look lost.
We all picked the Patriots and the Dolphins too, and the Packers.
Oh my!
The Packers won. Okay, I didn't know the Colts were that good, honestly. So that fooled me. That fooled me really good.
Yeah, we're gonna talk more about them. Yeah, they look good.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1-6 on our 3-for-3 picks last week.
It's not bad.
So if you paid us, you'd be 6-1. So this year, paid us.
That's a real good look for our show. a show we're trying to promote, and our
hashtag we won't be wrong.
We won't be wrong. The Ravens just don't really have an identity on offense, though, and the Steelers have continued to roll, are clearly the best team in football right now. I know people talk about the Chiefs, but I think it's clear at this point the Steelers are the team to beat. 4.5 isn't very many points, so give me the Steelers to win convincingly. It's just cool too that on a holiday that represents the abuse and the rape of indigenous people, Big Ben just makes a really good representative for the sport. So yeah, but yeah, nice. I'll take the Steelers.
Well, and on a holiday when what we do is we absolutely eviscerate and demolish a big bird, the Steelers will be doing the same thing to the Ravens. So
prophecy.
Yeah. All right. Raiders at Falcons. Vegas by 3. What? Really? Did the person who made this line watch the game against Kansas City last night?
Or the game against the Saints for the Falcons?
I have Raiders by 1 million. I wrote that in my notes. Raiders by 1 million.
Kyle and I are back on the Raiders
this train. One for sure.
Nice. Oh, you're locking it
the Raiders. I'm locking the fuck out of them.
Nice.
I'm locking them.
That's a good lock.
You're locked too, or no? Kyle, I know.
I did not lock it, but I'm very confident. I should have.
I'm going Raiders.
The number is so deceiving. Like, how's it so low? I have to lock it. Like,
yeah.
Every once in a while, there's a number like this that just feels like Vegas, not Vegas Raiders, the Vegas gamblers know something that we don't know, or like this something about this is a trap. Like, and a lot of times,
game.
Yeah, like every once in a while, I see a number and it scares you off a little bit, but common sense says I have to take the Raiders. Plus, I've just been high on them all year. I got scared last week, and I broke my tradition because Kyle didn't join me in the Raiders bandwagon, and I regretted that. The Falcons also look like garbage, so we're back on track, riding the Raiders all the way to the Super Bowl.
Woo!
Yeah, Raiders across the board.
You know, frustration. If the Raiders win the Super Bowl, we might have to rebrand ourselves as a Raiders show.
Raiders Nation, isn't that already what they're actually called?
Maybe. All
Raiders
right.
Nation.
I think that's what they actually call them, Raiders Nation.
Radiation Nation. There you go. All right. Chargers at Bills. Bills by 5.5. Yeah, your facial expression is exactly my feelings on this game too.
Skip.
Is that your skip?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I do not know. The Bills are definitely the better overall team. 5.5 is a weird number. Definitely feel like they could win by a touchdown. But Justin Herbert really has the Chargers offense looking pretty good. I'm using my skip elsewhere, so I'm going to go with the Chargers to cover in this one. If I had to pick a winner, I'd pick the Bills, but I think it'll be a very close game. So I'm picking the Chargers to cover.
Yep. Richie.
Yeah. This is going to be an air raid game for sure. So it's super hard. If I could pick the over, I would pick the over, but we're not picking over. So
definitely the over for sure.
Yeah, I know.
What is the over?
No, I don't.
It's got to be like 50.
Yeah, I'm guessing like 56 maybe, but man, I put down my sheet. I put the Bills. I'm trying to analyze because the Bills. I mean, if at any point, if like the Chargers hit a field goal, that fucks up the whole spread. So that's the whole thing with it. But it's gonna be air raid for sure, back and forth. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take the Bills. Fuck it.
You're right though. That is a weird number where 5.5, if you get an early field goal, can mess up your numbers of what the possibilities are. To where now you basically have to win by 2 touchdowns almost to
like what happened with the whole
the
Chiefs game in Raiders that fucked it all up. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting game. Yeah, this is when I was doing my show prep and like filling in the picks, I passed this one, and every time I came back to it, I just picked a different way, and I couldn't decide. I just felt uncomfortable. So yeah, I can't pick this one this week.
Well, from one 5.5 line to another, Giants at Bengals is the next one, and this number I just don't like. This number, and this is one of 3 5.5 lines that we have this week. And I just am not a fan of these, but we don't have enough skips in the books for that. So with Burrow being injured, out for the season, a huge blow to this Bengals team. I think with Burrow healthy, I might pick the Bengals, but I'm going to pick the Giants because I just think at this point you're so demoralized as a team, losing your number 1 overall pick. So I'm going Giants.
What about you, Richie?
So yeah, hope Burrow gets better.
Definitely.
Yeah, Danny Dimes, he's been looking good-ish. So, I mean, I think I'll take the Giants here. I mean, that's weird to say, but yeah, I'll take the Giants.
It's just strange because it's like Burrow's injury, depending on your team, if you have a good culture, like what we've kind of seen with the 49ers, right? You get all these injuries and they can win and kind of rally around the coaching staff and try to like build up a sense of, even though we've lost our quarterback, we've still got this strong core. The Bengals just feel like not a good team, not a good franchise, and not a good culture, to where I don't think they can do that. They still have that terrible O-line that just got Burrow killed. And so now you've signed 2 quarterbacks off the practice squad, and you want to put one of these guys behind that line. Give me the Giants.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't think, even though this is a bounce back spot, I don't think the Bengals are a bounce back team.
No. All right. Titans at Colts. This is a big divisional game. Are they tied? What is their records right now? Are they tied, or are the Colts ahead?
It's the AFC South.
If they're tied at 7-3. This is like a game for the division.
What's the tiebreaker? Didn't Tennessee win last time?
I'm not sure, but this is my skip of the week. I have Indianapolis by
nice.
by 3.5. I just don't know. Like, the Colts have been a team this year, very much to me similar to the Titans and the Ravens, where they have games where they look like one of the best teams in the AFC, just like the Titans and the Ravens. But then they also have games where they look rough. And last week, beating the Packers, the Colts looked good. The Titans beating the Ravens, the Titans looked good. And you have both of these teams coming off huge wins. I just don't know what to expect. And it being such a big game for the future of their division and playoffs, I'm going to skip it because I just don't know where to go.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. Nice. So I looked back. I don't know how I forgot this, but the Colts and Titans just played 2 weeks ago, and the Colts won 34-17.
That's right.
Yeah, big matchup.
So are you going to pick the Colts again?
No. The Colts do look legit right now, and so do the Titans. This feels kind of like a coin flip game, honestly, if I have to pick it, even with it being in Indianapolis. But if Vegas is going to give me more than a field goal to bet on the Titans, I'll do it. Maybe I'm falling into a trap. I'm not sure if they win, but I'll take Tennessee to cover 3.5. If it was 2.5, I might think twice about it, but 3.5, I like that number.
Gotcha. Richie.
I'll take the Colts minus 3.5. The Colts look really good. I was actually surprised they beat the Packers, but the Packers might be frauds. But honestly, it was just weird because I thought the Packers were good and they got beaten by the Colts, and that just fucked with my head. So, and I can't bet against the Titans because the Titans are horrible against the spread. So therefore, I'm taking the Colts.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So that's
a good game.
That's an interesting. So we have 2 matchups right now. The Chargers Bills. One of us picked Bills, one picked Chargers, one skipped. Yeah, and now this one picked Titans, one picked Colts, and one skipped.
Yeah, I mean that goes to show the tough betting lines. I meant to mention this at the top of the show too, but I read a report according to one sports book, it was the best, most profitable weekend they've ever had. Because you looked at like last week, everybody was high on the Dolphins. A lot of money came in on the Lions. Like everybody was on the wrong sides of bets, and Vegas just took all the money last week,
except for us, because we're never wrong.
Right, except for college football, because I won the money in football.
Yeah, you took all Vegas's money. Yeah, so this kind of feels like a week where they've got some real weird numbers out there. It'll be interesting to see what way the money goes as far as public money and all that. But if anything, this slate kind of feels tougher to me than last week.
All right,
it's going to get tougher too, because like as the playoffs come through, like it just gets harder. So,
and as every week goes by, there's more numbers, more data. Vegas has that much more information. Yeah, it's tough. So
we need a resident Vegas guy.
Yeah, we do.
Like the inside guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Panthers at Vikings. And again, by the way, everyone, all these lines that we have are based off of the ESPN app.
As of
Monday. So they can change all the way by Sunday. So yeah.
Which actually, like, that's another interesting thing. Like, if you're betting, a lot of times I like betting early in the week because you get a line before it's moved much, and then you get the cool chance. Like if you bet on our next game, Vikings Panthers, say you take the Panthers to cover the 4.5, and then the line goes all the way down to 2, you can place another bet on the Vikings, and then if you hit right in between, you win both bets, double it. Like you cover your losses if you're on the wrong side of either one, but you create that sweet spot in the middle of 1 or 2 points. Sometimes it moves up to like 5 or 6. And I've had a few bets like that before where you play both sides early in the week and then late it hits right in the middle and you get a double win on it. So
right, chef's kiss.
Yeah, perfect. So sometimes betting those lines early in the week can be a good way to do it. So
you should call it double whammy. So
that's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into Panthers Vikings. Richie, I'm going to throw this one over to you. Vikings are favored by 4.5 at home.
Yeah, so the Panthers look good. The Panthers looked good from last week. The Vikings are at home. I don't know. It's another hard game. I'm taking the Vikings minus 4.5. Bounce back game. This is the bounce back week. I feel like because all the NFC North lost last week, right? So I just feel like they're all gonna bounce back.
Except the Bears, because they were on.
They still end up losing somehow.
The Bears should try not playing more often. Yeah,
exactly.
No, that's. I thought about skipping this one. The big question is if Teddy Bridgewater is going to be back. The defense played well. It's not statistically been a good defense for the Panthers this year, but they did play well. It is the Lions. At 4-7, this feels like a must win if the Panthers even want to get back in the hunt, which at this point it feels like it's too late. You look at their division is stacked, and then but this is a game that
really,
so I don't know. I think Cook is going to have a big game because Carolina can struggle against the run. But at 4.5 points, I'll take the Panthers to at least keep it close. I think the Vikings probably win this game, but a close game.
Yeah, so I have look, I locked the Vikings last week against the Cowboys, and I was proven just how bad the Bears really were against the Vikings. Man, the Vikings are not good. I think the Panthers are gonna sleepwalk through this one in their PJs. PJ Walker, sleepwalker. Want to see what I did there? He had a really good game. I'm going to take the Panthers in their PJs to cover. Probably win, but at least to cover.
Just as a heads up, too, because we're recording on Monday Night Football, 3 minutes left in the fourth, and it's tied 24-24. So if this game goes to overtime or maybe in regulation, even obviously, there's a good chance we could still win our bet on Tampa to cover. Which we got a 6.5 or 5 4.5. It was under a touchdown. I know.
I think it's at 3 exactly. So it might push.
Did we get it at 3? I know the number's up to like 4.5 right now. I forget what our number was when we bet it.
Tampa at 3 exactly.
Interesting. So just as a heads up, the Rams are going to have the ball with a few minutes left because the Bucs just scored, but it's tied right now. So maybe by the end of this episode, we'll know how that bet did. All right, next game.
There goes my under. I'm screwed under.
Oh yeah, it's already high scoring game. Yeah.
Well, 49.5 unless they just don't score on overtime.
A tie.
That'd be wild.
I have. But when Scorecast was a Frustration Nation only show, I did predict a tie correctly.
Yep.
Which
Bengals,
I wish happened.
Eagles, right?
Yeah, Bengals Eagles. I predicted a tie. I was very proud of that.
That was
still
nice,
am.
Yeah. Yep. Which it's the only tie this year, right?
Yep.
And that's the only time you've predicted one, and you got the exact game right. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. Cardinals at Patriots. Arizona by 2.5. So this game is a little tough for me. Also, Cardinals sometimes are up and down. Patriots are up and down. I'm totally kidding. I'm locking the Cardinals in to win this game by at least a field goal. Cardinals are my lock, brought to you by Lock It Up.
Well, this is making me nervous because we're going to share our lock again. We just did it. Oh man.
Well, you shared a lock with
betting
Richie
against the
last
Patriots.
week.
Yeah. Well, we shared a college lock this week, right? I think we're both in Notre Dame.
No. Oh, this week, yeah.
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 And betting against the Patriots and locking against the Patriots still feels dangerous, but they are not a good team. I think the Cards are a really good team. I think they're going to score 40 plus points in this game. Arizona wins and covers. This is my second mortgage. Bet your life savings. Risk everything you have and don't tell the wife. Lock of the week.
That's right.
Interesting.
Live by example.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Cardinals too. It's a Kyler Murray bounce back game. He didn't do too well last week, right? Or no, it was a bye last week.
No, last week they played Thursday night. They played Thursday night against the Seahawks last week.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't that great, right?
Yeah.
It was okay.
He was fine.
I can't remember.
He didn't hit. You picked you selected the over for your prop bet of 281 passing yards, and he didn't hit that.
Yeah, yeah. Did they win though against Seahawks, or did they lose?
Seahawks won.
Yeah, that's what this is my bounce back game. Cardinals. Yeah.
Are you going to lock it? All 3 locks?
He locked.
I locked already.
Which one did you lock?
Raiders. Raiders.
Dang. Someday we'll all 3 lock across the board, and that will definitely
I was actually
be the game.
Notre Dame earlier in the college football one, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Chickened out.
And listeners, you should absolutely avoid that game when it does happen.
All right, Dolphins at Jets. Miami by 7. Big divisional game.
Feels weird to say.
I can't say it straight with a straight face whenever they're playing the Jets.
It is for the Dolphins, yeah.
Look, I'm picking the Dolphins. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just picking the Dolphins.
Yep.
Yeah, same. Like I said, it's bounce back week. So Tua, he's gonna come back strong. He's gonna kill it for them. The Jets fucking suck. I mean, yeah, Dolphins.
Yeah. Once again, we're all picking across the board, same team. Which I feel like this is a bounce back week for us too. I think this is the week we're all right on all these. Right. So
that's 2 weeks in a row that we pick all the Dolphins. We all picked Dolphins.
Yeah, we're high on Dolphins apparently.
You would have guessed a year ago we would all pick the Dolphins multiple weeks in a row. Yeah.
You heard it here first. Dolphins Raiders AFC Championship game. Ooh. Locking it in. Put your money down.
So who beats the Saints or not the Saints, the Steelers?
The Dolphins. No. The Chiefs somehow play the Steelers, and the Chiefs beat the Steelers, and the Raiders beat the Chiefs, and then the Dolphins play the Browns. I don't know.
That actually doesn't seem too impossible.
That could happen.
The Ravens. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, only 7 points. I think people are overreacting to last week, Tua being benched. I think the Dolphins are fine, and they're going to blow the doors off the Jets. Yeah. And the only reason I'm not locking this is because I just can't lock a team the week after they were my lock and lost. Just out of principle, I can't do it. But this is probably the one I feel most confident in.
I saw a stat. This is interesting. This is a pro Jets stat. Joe Flacco
sucks.
Hold on. In his 2 games starting for the Jets, he's thrown 7 touchdowns. In the Jets' 8 games before that, they threw for 7 touchdowns, or they scored 7 touchdowns. So he in definitely 2 games, he has produced the same amount of touchdowns they had the whole rest of the year before then.
Yeah, Flacco's weird.
Flacco's back in MVP form.
It is funny because he won a Super Bowl, and wasn't he Super Bowl MVP too?
Yeah, yep. And that whole playoff run, he had a passer rating of like over 110.
Yep. And now he's the backup quarterback for a tanking, winless football team.
Yep.
And he has moments where like he has a talented arm and can make some good throws. But then did you see that pick 6 he threw? Like the worst pick 6 I've seen all year. I just throws
the worst pick 6 I saw was Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. Yeah, his own league. Yeah,
he was. It was like it looked like Carson Wentz was playing a game of 500. Like
every time Carson Wentz touches a football, it looks like the first time he's ever touched a football. Carson Wentz sucks.
Football verge. Yeah. We got football verge.
So yeah, we'll. I've got plenty to say about Carson Wentz when we get to that pick, but yeah, just even with the Super Bowl winning Joe Flacco, 7 points just isn't enough. So
wow, Ram just scored.
I see that field goal.
Yeah,
all right,
goes my under. I hate betting the under. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Anyways,
and now we're because a touchdown. If a touchdown drive would still be 4 points, we win.
Yep. All right, Richie, did you pick the Dolphins? Yeah, you did.
Yep. All
right. Brown at Jaguars, Cleveland by 7. I'm picking the Browns.
Okay.
No one else needed. Yeah.
You both take Browns?
Browns look pretty good. Yeah.
I'm getting sick of betting the Browns. Like 2 weeks ago they push. This week they win but don't. Oh, they did cover this week, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, but the push 2 weeks ago, they just never look confident or consistent. It's like a roller coaster every time you watch a Browns game. Give me the points. I'll take the Jaguars. I'm going to try betting the other way. Jaguars. The Jaguars are definitely not as good as the Browns, and the Browns' running game is probably going to be successful against the Jaguars. But the Jaguars have been kind of quietly playing decent football the past few weeks. So at one point it looked like an anomaly against the Packers, but now for a few weeks they've been playing not good football, but
they took the lead against the Steelers 3-0.
Yeah, a huge moment for the franchise. I think they can at least keep this close. With it being at 7 even, I bet this is a push again. Second push in 3 weeks. So we'll see, but I'm just going to take the points.
That does feel like a push now they bring it up. All right. Let's move on to the next one. Saints at Broncos. NOLA by 6. I want to hear, Richie, your thoughts on this one first.
Man, so I originally put the Saints -6, but after hearing your thing about the whole Mile High thing, shit.
I was just
it
thinking.
Does like take effect. It does take into effect. But Taysom Hill was so good last week. Fuck.
Best tight end in the league.
Don't know. Yeah, jack of all trades. So, oh man, I think I'm gonna take the Broncos +6. Honestly, I have to switch my pick. Broncos +6.
What a pick!
Like that.
I hate Mile High Stadium. I hate it. I hate it.
Well, for me, I believe that Taysom Hill is kind of like Cinderella, and the magic only lasts so long. And now that ESPN Fantasy has officially stripped him of his tight end status for this
Garbage.
week, I believe that the magic will start to rub off against Vic Fangio's defense in Mile High Stadium. I'm also taking the Broncos.
Holy crap.
Woo! Let's do it.
Now I'm like second guessing myself. It feels too easy.
Are you telling me? I literally just a pick last minute.
Okay, so the Broncos had a good game, and I do think there's something to the fact that they're playing at home, and that's a really tough environment.
Master lock it in. Do it.
No, I still just don't think they're a good team. So at 6, the spread is under a touchdown, so I'll take the Saints. And I think I'm doing this partly. I don't feel great about it necessarily, but I think they're definitely a better team than the Broncos, and this might be a chance for me to kind of steal a game against both of you guys. So yeah, I'll take the Saints here.
This is again one of those numbers where if you get one of those odd field goals early, it could set you up for
a push.
Missing the So
yeah. Interesting.
All right. 49ers at the Rams. Niners coming off a bye week. Rams favored by 7. I had this pick cemented even before Monday Night Football was played, but after But after watching this game tonight, I'm even that much more confident in my Rams pick here. The Niners have showed spurts of life throughout this year, despite a they have a mash unit out there as for a football team. But they're not going to be a match for the Rams this week.
Richie.
Yeah, I'm watching this Rams game right now, and the Rams look good. So I'm going to take the Rams -7.
Oh, man, I'm going to do it again. I'm going against you both. I don't know, man. Like, the Rams have had times this year that they look good and then come out are kind of disappointing. I don't think I've bet on the Rams a single time all year. Like, I've just been constantly down on them, which is probably dumb because they have a good record and look solid. But why would I start betting on them now? I think this might be a close game. I have a lot of respect for the 49ers coaching staff. So give me San Francisco.
Great coaching.
Yeah. So keep it, because I trust their coaching. I think they still lose the game, but keep it close. San Francisco to cover.
Interesting. I could see a close game there for sure.
And another even number. It's a lot of these. So at 7 points even, possible push here.
I guess for me, like you brought up, the Rams haven't looked as good in some parts. Brady just threw an interception.
Oh, man.
And the Bucs only have one timeout.
Yep. That should
end. 2-minute warnings passed. Yep. Well, there's another loss on our NFL record.
Yay! We won't be wrong.
But one of the games that people hammered the Rams on, not looking like a legitimate team was Rams Dolphins. But I think looking back now, that's actually a bigger statement about the Dolphins than the Rams.
It's fair.
So that's why I think lately I'm going to be confident with my Rams pick here. Anyway,
gotcha.
All right, Chiefs at Buccaneers. This one also could qualify for a Thanksgiving matchup. Chiefs by 3 is the number here. Richie, what are your thoughts on this one?
All right, so I'm watching the Buccaneers right now. They're not looking too good, but man. There's something weird with how this game's like really like a small spread, like 3. I don't know why it seems too small, but I was gonna skip this game, but thinking about it now, I don't know. I'm gonna say Chiefs. Fuck it.
Have you used this? Have you used a skip yet?
No, not yet. I know we're gonna skip though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michigan hat. Go ahead.
Take Chiefs.
I mean, again, like we're watching the Bucks right now, but I had this note from earlier today, and it's just Tampa has just been super up and down all season. Like this feels like a game they either win or lose by like 30 points. I think the Chiefs are just a better team at this point. The Bucks are coming off a short week. Give me Kansas City to win and cover.
I am also going with the Chiefs here. A hard-fought game, an emotional game against the Raiders. Buccaneers, I don't think they're going to have it against the Chiefs. So I'm picking the Chiefs as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys have been waiting all day for Sunday night, and I unfortunately will have to watch this game. Bears at Packers. Green Bay by 8.
Do we even need to mention the point spread, honestly?
Well, I'll go first. I'm gonna skip because I don't like the point spread. It's a weird point spread, honestly. I want the Bears to win, but 8's weird because it's a little bit more than a touchdown, and the Bears can't do that. But I'm afraid to like. I'm afraid
can't do that.
I'm afraid.
That's the theme of the year.
Do that? Yeah, the Bears might not score 8.
Yeah,
I know. So I'm sorry. I'm skipping this one. I can't.
I don't like this point spread either because I think it's far too low. I'm looking at Packers by like 20 or something. Like, no, to be honest, like the Bears always keep it somewhat close because of their elite defense, but I have no faith. I have no, like, the past few weeks with an abysmal offensive performance week in and week out has totally broke me. And I'm going to watch this game because I'm a diehard fan and because I do my Full Press Bears podcast. It's like, I have to watch it now.
You're stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. But I am going to pick the Packers to win and cover.
Yeah. So like Richie said, 8 is a tough number. I do think the Packers win, but by more than a touchdown, yes, the Packers win and cover. This kind of might be a preview. We'll talk about this more, but I feel like this is a game. Mitch Trubisky comes back. There's some excitement. I do think he's the better option. And the problem is he hasn't played in a while, and he's a player who he's looked like in the past struggles when he's in big moments and there's high pressure situations. And what time would be a worse time to come back than in a must-win game on the road against a rival that you struggle
bum shoulder too.
Yeah, so even like I think Mitch coming back is the right move. I think he's the better quarterback at this point, but this is a really tough spot to throw him in, even coming off the bye. The Packers are a beatable team, definitely. But the Bears, I just don't think have the ability on offense to take advantage of those weaknesses. Like if you had a solid running game, that might be something I consider. But I just don't know if the Bears are able to take advantage of that weakness. So Packers to win and cover.
Yeah, it's a bounce back game, I feel like, for Aaron Rodgers since he just lost the game against the Colts. So
yeah,
he's not going to come out like shooting, honestly. Like that's what I'm scared of. And
there's a stat that he's like 12-1 or something in the past couple of years against the spread coming off a game when he lost or something like that. I forget what it was, but
yeah,
he's very good after a loss.
The Bears. Everything you said about Mitchell Trubisky is on point. The way I think the Bears have to win this game, we saw against the Vikings, they scored on special teams, they turned the ball over twice on defense. I think the defense is going to have to not only turn the ball over, but turn the ball over and score if they actually want to win this game. And Rodgers rarely throws pick sixes, and I just don't see it happening. So I just don't feel good about this game. But on the bright side, if the Bears win, they're definitely back in the playoff picture. All right, Monday Night Football. Are you ready for some football? This is our third final 5.5 point spread this week. Yep. Seahawks at Eagles. I'll go first. This one was my lock at first because the Eagles are trash and the Seahawks have had a rough couple of weeks, even though they did beat the Cardinals. Looking at a game where this could be one where they kind of, blow out the Eagles, but the Seahawks defense is just so suspect that I feel like even somebody of Carson Wentz's ineptitude could tear it apart a little bit. But I'm still riding with the Seahawks to win this game, but I'm definitely not locking it.
Gotcha. What do you think, Richie?
Wait, did someone say something?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Richie. Yeah, on Seahawks Eagles.
Oh yeah, it's just cutting out. Yeah, sorry, it's just cutting out. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm picking the Seahawks. Yeah, I'm picking the Seahawks. The Eagles are still injured. I don't think they're going to win another game at the end of the year, honestly. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks.
Yeah, man, the Eagles are garbage. Carson Wentz, like I said earlier, every time he touches the football, looks like it's the first time he's ever seen a football, and he has no idea what was just thrown to him. The Seahawks are going to butcher the Eagles on national television, and the NFC North will continue to be up for grabs after I think Washington beats the Cowboys. The Eagles lose here, continue to be a free-for-all with everybody being at the bottom and no one running away with it.
Well, and we all picked the Giants to beat the Bengals too. So
yep, I think there's a very real chance the Giants win the division still. Like, I don't know what the statistical odds are, but I think they're the best team probably.
All right. Well, that is our NFL picks. Crazy. Do you guys all pick your Thrive Fantasy prop picks for the week?
I did not pick mine yet, but I'm looking right now. So you guys go first, and then I'll have mine.
I picked mine, and now I see that I didn't write it down, which was dumb. But I can tell you. Oh yeah. Okay. So my pick was, I like Deshaun Watson at 265.5 passing yards, going the over on that. That is my pick against Detroit.
All right, Deshaun Watson over
265.5.
Mine is Alex Smith over 0.5 total interceptions. So he's going to throw an interception.
I like that.
Where am I?
You are at your house.
Oh, thanks. So I'm not seeing. Are the lines not out yet? I'm on the Thrive website.
They're only out for Thursday right now. I'm
not even seeing those. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Do you want me to pick one for you?
Just name a couple off, and I'll pick one of them.
Willie Snead the fourth at 3.5 total receptions.
What?
Matthew Stafford 24.5 total completions.
Ooh, okay, wait.
Hawkinson.
Yeah, 24.5 total completions.
Ezekiel Elliott 95.5 total rush and receiving yards, all-purpose yards.
Marvin Jones Jr. over 1 receiving touchdown.
Okay, give me that one. Marvin Jones under 1 touchdown.
So you don't think he's
under? Yeah, I think Golladay might come back, and even if he doesn't, the pass offense has struggled. A few other options. I think maybe if we do score, which is a big if at this point, there's a good chance it comes from a catch out of the backfield or something. So yeah, I don't think Marvin Jones scores one here.
Interesting. And that's actually, did you add? So you are the only one that got your prop pick correct last week.
And I included that. Really, that was the difference as far as why I Took
the
lead
true.
At my prop pick.
Which you opposed me directly because I had Nick Chubb scoring a touchdown and you had Nick Chubb not scoring a touchdown, and he did not score a touchdown.
Kareem Hunt got 2 looks inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah,
I would expect Chubb would normally get one of them. So yeah, it was interesting.
All right. Well, that officially is the conclusion of our NFL portion of the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast for NFL Week 12. Who is closing us out today?
I'll close us out. Uh-oh. I have lost the sheet to close us out. Give me 1 second. I don't know where the sheet went. Anyways, do you guys want to close this out? Any of you guys?
Yeah.
I'll skip that one.
Yeah, this is the this concludes the Shoot Your Shot Scorecast for this week. Follow our new official Twitter at SYSS Scorecast because we're going to be posting updates throughout the game slates of how our scoreboards are looking. So be checking and looking for that. Remember to subscribe also to our show on Sportscaster so you don't ever miss another pick. You can also follow us personally on Twitter. We've been doing a ton of fun trash talk and banter throughout the day's games. So there's at Richie Chicago, at Furious George 94, and at Michigan Hat for all our dumb commentary. With all the uncertainty in the world, one thing that is certain is our predictions and how much turkey I'm going to be stuffing in my belly. Thank you for tuning in, and please be sure to tune in next week for more correct only picks. Peace.
This is a hot take. I'm going to say I have a hot take. I'm eating ham, not turkey, for Thanksgiving. So,
hey, that's one of our hypotheticals on Frustration Nation this week.
Thank you for the setup.
Is it really?
Check out Frustration Nation for our debate on ham versus turkey.
That's right.
There we go. Nice.